29-year-old Myeni, who hails from Richards Bay in KwaZulu-Natal, was shot in a confrontation with police after they responded to a burglary in progress. SABC News correspondent in the US, Sherwin Bryce Pease, joins us now for the latest. So, Sherwin, please just tell us what else has come out. I saw not so long ago that a body cam footage has been released of what exactly happened, and it sounds like a horrendous shooting.
Well, that is the latest iteration, certainly, Pease, to the developments that started on Wednesday night in Hawaii, Honolulu. Of course, the time difference just between myself in New York and Hawaii is 6 hours, about 12-hour difference between South Africa and Hawaii. So there is a delay in us getting the information. But so this incident happening on Wednesday night, there was a police press conference on Thursday where the chief of police sought to present the police version of events, the police narrative. They promised that they would release the body cam footage, which the SABC has seen. So I can talk you through some of that body cam footage. Essentially, police were responding to what the dispatcher qualified as a burglary, right? You see there the police officer arriving with his flashlight at the home where Lindani Myeni was alleged to have entered the home, taken off his shoes and sat down. The woman then, of course, alerted the police. You see her there pointing to the police officer, saying, "That's him, that's him." The police officer then, weapon drawn, tells him to immediately get down. You don't see it in that video footage, Chapiso, for very long, but as the police officer arrives, Lindani Myeni is talking to someone that appears to be in police uniform already. We don't know if that was a police officer. Who is the gentleman he is talking to when the body camera footage policeman that you're seeing, the point of view that you're seeing, arrives and orders him to get on the ground? He does not comply. There is a obvious fight. Other policemen, police officers arrive at the scene. They deploy a taser. You hear on the video, taser, taser, taser. The taser seems to have limited effect in subduing Mr. Myeni. And at some point you hear a gunshot and then again 3 gunshots, which brought Mr. Myeni down. From the police narrative, Pease, we are told he was, police tried to provide aid. He was rushed to hospital in critical condition where he died. The police also tell us that the 3 officers involved in this interaction, Pease, one had multiple face fractures, concussion injuries to his arms and legs, and remains hospitalized today. A second officer suffered multiple injuries to body, arms, and legs. A third officer had a concussion and multiple abrasions to body, arms, and legs. So what we have right now is a police narrative, a narrative from one version of events. They say there is an investigation continuing. They say that police in this incident were fighting for their lives. They believe that the use of force was justified in this incident. We have yet to hear from the family in Hawaii. We understand that they have returned an attorney. We've reached out to the attorney. We have not heard back yet, but we clearly need some context here. Why was he at this house? Can they provide greater detail as to why he might have been there? What is the scenario? We definitely need to hear from the family, and certainly from the family attorney.
And I want to talk exactly about those narratives, Sherwin, because some of what is also coming out is that his wife reportedly said that he went on a short drive after a fun family day, and that this incident and news thereof came to her after 18 minutes. So one can only imagine what would have happened. And I know it's too early to speculate, but it just draws a picture of a very dangerous environment in the United States for black men and women, that just taking a short walk down your neighborhood street could lead to you being accused of either following somebody to their house or of being a robber.
Yeah, and it comes at a time when we're discussing, you and I were on air yesterday discussing the George Floyd, the wrapping up of that trial. We were talking about the proliferation of guns in this country, the incident in Chicago, which involves the killing of a 13-year-old boy at the hands of police, and of course the Dante Wright incident where an officer allegedly mistook her taser for her gun. Police here, Tsepiso, are arguing that the gun and the use of force was the last resort. That the suspect in this case, or the victim in this case, depending on which side of the argument you want to be on, did not adhere to the instruction to get down. Mr. Myeni is alleged to have then charged the police officer. They then ensued, a struggle then ensued. A taser was deployed. The taser did not debilitate the victim, the suspect, at which point police themselves were getting injured and they were in a fight for their lives, to quote one of the police officers in this incident. So an investigation really needs to bring to the fore the facts here, because we don't know the full picture as to what happened here. What was the concern of the person that made the 911 call? Why did police arrive at the scene with their weapons drawn? Did they fear for their lives? The woman in that picture, as you see at the beginning of that visual, looks very irate, is terrified, is shrieking, there he is, there he is. What sort of anxiety was she creating by the presence of Mr. Myeni in her home? There's just too many answers here. In addition to that, there's the diplomatic role that South Africa is playing here. We understand now that this has reached the highest levels of diplomacy in the United States. Ambassador Nomaindia Mfeketo, South Africa's envoy to Washington, is being appraised right now of developments, and they too will now be engaging with authorities here to really establish the facts and, of course, also provide consular support to the family. There might be a repatriation of a body that might have to happen in the near future, but we can't confirm that right now.
All right, thank you so much, Sherwin. And of course, we'll speak to you later on about the broader issues, as you say, what we've been discussing, gun violence in the United States.